He caught his wife with a coworker. But what he did next silenced them all forever. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found us. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps more than you know. Now let's dive in. The return. Logan Bennett glanced at the glowing digits on his dashboard. 8:54 p.m. He was supposed to be on a plane to Dallas, halfway through a 3-day conference. But a sudden change in schedule, an emergency cancellation, had brought him back home early. As he turned onto Maple Lane, the road grew quieter, more familiar, yet heavier with each passing house. The neighborhood was still the same, but everything inside Logan felt changed. He pulled into the driveway and saw it immediately. A metallic blue Aston Martin. Bleak, flashy, not his, but unmistakably the same one that had shown up in the photographs sent anonymously just days earlier. His stomach sank, but his expression remained still. He had rehearsed this moment. He wasn't here to cause a scene. He wasn't here for drama. He was here for the truth. The confrontation. Logan walked into the house he had lived in for 28 years with Meredith, the woman he had built a life with, raised a daughter with, shared morning coffees and late-night talks. But tonight the air felt foreign, cold. He followed the soft hum of voices down the hall, laughter light and flirtatious. Meredith's voice, unmistakably soft and intimate, the kind of tone she once reserved for him. And then came another voice, male, smooth, confident, Nolan Pierce, a rising star at Meredith's firm, young, ambitious, reckless. Logan stepped into the dining room doorway without warning. The laughter died instantly. Meredith froze mid-sentence, her eyes widening with a mix of fear and guilt. Nolan's face drained of color, caught like a deer in headlights. "I thought you were in Dallas," Meredith stammered, reaching for an excuse she didn't believe in. Logan said nothing. He calmly pulled out his phone, swiped a few times, and handed it to her. On screen, timestamps, pictures, messages, everything laid bare. Proof gathered by a private investigator. Undeniable, comprehensive. Meredith's hand trembled as she scrolled through. Her expression crumbled. No more denials. No more words. "This ends here," Logan said quietly. "No more pretending." The unraveling. The next morning, Logan was already meeting with attorneys. There were no outbursts, no arguments, just meticulous surgical execution. The prenuptial agreement they had both signed long ago, one Meredith had dismissed as just legal formality, was airtight. When Meredith finally tried to call him, the silence she was met with was intentional, calculated. A week later, a scheduled video call changed everything. She logged in expecting a plea for conversation. What she found was Logan, flanked by 2 high-powered legal consultants, both known for handling complex, high-asset divorces. And then another face appeared on the screen. Nolan. He looked exhausted, disheveled, unprepared. What followed was clinical, brutal, and thorough. Logan recited the consequences of their actions. She was being removed from the company board. Her executive privileges were revoked. All shared assets were being divided per the prenup, heavily in Logan's favor. She would lose the house, the vacation property, the joint investments, everything. She tried to protest, claimed she'd made a mistake, that it wasn't serious, that Nolan was just a mistake. But the lawyers weren't moved. And Logan, he never raised his voice. He simply said, "I gave you my loyalty. You gave me lies." Then he turned to Nolan. The young attorney opened his mouth, but Logan raised a hand, silencing him. "You knew she was married. You worked beside me. You knew who I was. And you still did this." Nolan tried to argue it had only happened once, that it was impulsive. But Logan dropped the final blow. A second folder of evidence. Other affairs Nolan had conducted with women from the firm, the neighborhood, even a mutual acquaintance of Logan and Meredith. The screen went black. The reckoning. But Logan wasn't finished. 3 days later, Nolan received another video call request. He hesitated but accepted. This time there were 3 participants: Logan, Nolan, and Rachel Pierce, Nolan's wife, a respected pediatric surgeon, the mother of his 2 daughters. Her expression was unreadable. Logan turned to Rachel and calmly revealed everything: the evidence, the messages, the betrayals. And then, in a voice filled with sorrow, not anger, he said, "I thought you deserved to know the truth. All of it." Rachel listened quietly. Then, without a single tear, she looked Nolan in the eye and said, "I've already filed the paperwork. I don't know who you are anymore." Nolan collapsed into silence. But there was more. Unknown to them, Meredith had joined the call secretly. No video, no mic, just a silent observer. She watched as the man she thought might save her crumbled under the weight of his own deceit. And in that moment, something cracked inside her. She had destroyed her marriage, lost her dignity, all for someone who treated her like a temporary thrill. The final goodbye. Weeks passed. Meredith reached out to her daughter, Haley, hoping to salvage something, anything. No answer. Then one afternoon, a message from Logan appeared. It was short, an invitation to a final video meeting. When she joined, it wasn't Logan on the screen. It was Haley. Her eyes were tired. Her face was hard. "I know what you did," she said flatly. "And I don't want to talk about it. I just wanted you to know I'm getting married next month. And you're not invited." Meredith's heart shattered. "I'm still your mother." "No," Haley replied. "You were. Now, you're a stranger." Tears streamed down Meredith's face, but Haley didn't budge. "Dad didn't just lose a wife. I lost the woman I looked up to. And I can't ever get that back." The call ended. The new beginning. And then, Logan made a decision no one expected. He stepped down from his role at the company, gave full control to Haley, told her it was time for the next generation to lead, one with values grounded in truth. But that wasn't the end of his journey. Logan took the fortune he had built and launched something personal, a non-profit foundation dedicated to helping men and women heal from betrayal, emotional abuse, and family trauma. Therapy, legal help, safe place. He used his pain to build something lasting, something redemptive. Because for Logan, this wasn't about revenge. It was about clarity, forgiveness, and choosing to rise without bitterness. He didn't just end a chapter. He wrote a new one that mattered. And that's the story of how one man faced devastation and turned it into legacy. If you felt this, if you've been there or know someone who has, share this story. Subscribe, like, and stay with us. Because healing starts with truth. And truth always finds the light.